Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Kaiju Hachigo episode 8, in which, well, most importantly, we will see a fight of Kafka and Soshiro. Probably a fight. I'm still not sure how they're gonna solve it. Soshiro will probably not want to talk it out, I don't think. And even if Kafka were to turn back into a human, I don't think he would, let go. So either I'm counting on outside interference or on Kafka somehow being more powerful than the vice captain himself. We'll see, of course. But yeah, that's the most important thing of this episode, isn't it? In the previous one, the previous episode was essentially just a one big fight with the Kaiju King, wasn't it? Right? First it was Reno and Iharu fighting together, losing to a point, but then they got, they got a second wind and had a little bit of a comeback. Apparently the Kaiju King is maybe not weak, but let's say not as strong to elemental attacks. So using freezing projectiles or electrified ones, stuff like that, seems to yield much better results in fighting him. So that's an important thing that we should probably note. We got a little bit of character development for Iharu during the course of this fight, right? How all this time he was, only basically chasing after the person who saved him, right? Chasing after that third-party power, so to speak, rather than actually trying and wanting to be more powerful. We know that there's like a hard cap. Well, not a hard cap, a soft cap on how powerful you can be. And he was stuck under that cap for a long time. And now I would say he was inspired by Reno enough to probably break through that cap, just like Reno did. So that's gonna be interesting. I am constantly in awe of the just positivity of this show and positivity of people's relations, right? Iharu did not get an arc of being jealous of Ren, of being jealous of where he is, right? Maybe trying to sabotage him or being angry at the world or whatever shit like that, right? No? No, he just identified, hey, am I really trying as hard as I think I am? Maybe if I were to actually be more true to myself, maybe if I were to actually try a little bit more, maybe then I would succeed. Let's try that. Let's try looking for solutions that are outside of the box, right? Let's try different kinds of ammo, different tactics, right? Let's jump straight into battle, and it has effects. He even identified his anger not at that it's not at Mina or Reno or anybody else. No, his anger was directed at his own inadequacy that he perceives. I really love what they're doing here with the characters and their stories, and that's yet another example. What then? Then of course Kafka arrived. He was kinda. He overheard that there's a humanoid kaiju, so did Kikoru, and they set off to save Reno. Kikoru was left behind because Kafka can move much faster while being henshined, so he went ahead. Meanwhile, Kikoru cleaved a big, huge Honju in half with a fucking street sign. What are those street signs even made of, right? But now we know at least where her, where her axe that she gets later on comes from, right? She really uses melee weapons well, so she's gonna get a melee weapon. That's a very nice system, I must say. Kind of weird that not like everybody is given some sort of a melee weapon, right? Like you'd think that sure, the rifle you get, the standard issue rifle, that's like perfectly fine. But should you run out of ammo, should you be in a very CQC situation, they should have at least like a knife or a baton or like a hatchet or something to fight in close quarters. Unless, I guess, the assumption is that the suit gives them enough power so that they can just brawl it out should push come to shove, which wouldn't surprise me because the suits do give them plenty of power indeed. Kafka arrived. He, of course, made very short work of the Kaiju King. Some very cool moments, very cool fighting, like scenes and animation and stuff. I love Kaiju King as a character as well, and as a villain, as an antagonist, right? What are you telling me, OBS? Is it recording? I think it's recording. I think it should be recording. Whatever. OBS icon was lit up on my taskbar for some reason. Yeah. Right, Kaiju King. I really enjoy him as a character and as a villain, and as an antagonist. He is kind of like a mirror image of, maybe not mirror image of Kafka, but kinda, sorta, right? It really seems like Kafka is a human turned into kaiju, while the Kaiju King is a kaiju turned into a human, perhaps also through some sort of a parasite that attacked him or something like that. Kafka relies a lot on, like, analysis of the battlefield. He knows where to strike. He gets straight into the corpse in the middle of battle to figure out what makes them tick. Similarly, the Kaiju King, he notices the attacks, notices the patterns, adjusts accordingly. He's also very analytical about it. I wonder if the story here might be that there's a third party at work, some third party that sent the parasites to Kafka because he knows Kaiju the best in whatever sort of, sense, and one was sent to whatever was the Kaiju that the Kaiju King used to be. And Kafka got the Kaiju powers, bringing him closer to the Kaiju side. Meanwhile, that other Kaiju got human powers, bringing him closer to the human side. Maybe there is some like third-party interference trying to create the perfect creature, the perfect being, something like that. And that's actually something I haven't noted down, but I feel like I should. Parasites were sent by third party. All right. Kafka makes one big blunder though, and that blunder is he has the Kaiju King on the ground with the core exposed and gets distracted. And just gets distracted by a couple of random goons from the task force. Random goons whose bullets he should be able to just shrug off, no problem. But he just got caught like fucking deer in the headlights, and the Kaiju King escaped. Big mistake. Very big mistake. And one of my biggest criticisms of not only that episode, but in like this series so far, that was really not handled well. But everything besides that is like really good. So let's not let it mar the image of the entire series, of course. Kafka, of course, also escaped because he had to. And in a dark alley, instead of, maybe henching ahead of time, or maybe hiding somewhere and then turning back into Kafka, or, doing something, anything. No, he decided to just slump along the wall in his kaiju form slowly, and he was caught by Soshiro. And Soshiro opened his eyes. He requested his limiters to be taken off, and shit's gonna hit the fan. Defecation hitting the ventilation. That's the proper term to use here. We already got a little bit of a taste of that. We already know the taste of Soshiro's power from episodes of yore. But now, yeah, this fight, I feel like it could go two ways, and two ways only, really. Either we get a legit, proper fight that is then either finished by just Kafka and Soshiro alone. Maybe they actually managed to talk it out. Maybe, I don't know, Kafka is just constantly on the defensive, blocking and trying to talk some sense into Soshiro. And he gets intrigued enough to, see that, hey, yo, maybe we actually can talk and learn a little bit. Or that fight gets broken up by someone from the outside. It could be Kikoru, it could be Mina, it could be Konomi, maybe saying, "Oh, Vice Captain Soshiro, Vice Captain Hoshina, we detect Kafka's wave pulse coming from the kaiju," or whatever kind of bullshit like that. And the second way I can see it going is that the cliffhanger is just an elaborate ruse, and the fight will just end very quickly because there's not going to be a fight or much of a fight. Kafka is just going to de-henshin, say, yo, it me, don't kill me, let's talk. Or again, some third party interference. Again, it could be Kikoru, could be Mina, could be Konomi. We'll see. Either we get a nice and proper fight, perhaps one lasting the entire episode, wouldn't surprise me, or we get a very short bit of fighting that gets ended very quickly, and the rest of the episode is perhaps dealing with the fact that Soshiro now knows that Kafka is a kaiju. We'll see. We'll see, of course. To see that, you will need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. What happened to this cable? There we go. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 8 of Kaiju number 8 in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, starting as in the opening. Oh man, why is this season just 12 episodes long? I really hope that the second season of Kaiju gets greenlit very quickly. Because while I can see some loose threads being done in just 12 episodes, I, for example, can easily see Kafka revealing his secret to maybe not Mina, but Soshiro, maybe someone else, maybe Iharu. Iharu knows that there is a kaiju that saved him, right? So that's a decently safe bet. I can see that happening in the 5 episodes that we have left, including this one. But dealing with the Kaiju King, for example, that I cannot see. That's gonna need at least like 12 episodes more. So hopefully another season is happening. Welcome to the Defense Force. Crouching tiger stance. Talk. Show that you're, sentient at least. Sapient. And don't get distracted. Talk. Show that you can be reasoned with. Yeah? That's his advantage. That's a very long street. I mean, he does have like kaiju muscle fibers, right? So you could say that he's not moving like a human. Quick regeneration. Okay. Yeah, he was like, what, 9'4"? Something like that. Okay, Dai Kaiju. He's not attacking. That's the feeling you're getting. That's a fucking Liwa bionicle flying stance. Yeah, not easy to dodge when there's two of them. Oh. Okay, he learned to transform. Yeah, that was easily predictable. Yeah, he doesn't want to attack you. And Vanishing Act? Vanishing Act. I guess that's the third way this could have gone. Sure. I guess Kafka's secret is safe for a little bit longer. Why would it not be? He's proven to be trustworthy so far, so... And yeah, you don't even need to ask yourself this question. You know it deep in your kokoro. Dissecting? Oh, going after them. No, they've been taken away already, so... Yeah. Oh! Okay. Okay! Everybody gets Kaiju regen. Meditating on what happened, huh? Did he realize that if he were to be hit by that punch, he would just have been fucking vaporized? Yes. Extremely so. Oh? What happened in Fukuoka 5 years ago? Mm-hmm. It didn't attack you. Exactly. right. It wasn't using, like, you know, tentacles and laser breath and shit like that. It was just, you know, the brawling stance and throwing punches. Very human-like indeed. Whomst? Oh? Mm-hmm. Yep. A dark tunnel. Oh, you poor whoever you are. Oh, is he changing into this dude? Or is he just seeking nourishment? Yeah. Smart. Changing his looks. Does he need to consume who he wants to turn into? Or was it just, you know, removing the original? Immediately I'm reminded of Kaiju. Yeah, he's not easy to kill. Yeah, you were much worse off. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Iharu. Don't worry about that. Gee, I wonder. He got praised for finding the reproductive organs. Yeah. Okay, it seems like everybody survived. Ooh, that's some, like, prime Wagyu, yeah. Oh, so he's like a rich kid? Yeah, probably like a scion of a rich family or something. Yep. Figures. Oh, the supporting team of scientists is here as well. I noticed Konami, I think. Oh, what do you have planned? They're not even that drunk yet, and they're already stirring shit. What's in the beer? Was it spiked with fucking 99 proof spirit or something? Or is it just a regular team exercise? Mm-hmm. And they've seen what others are lacking. It's an exchange of information. It's a and a recollection. Something. Come on then. Yeah, I knew that. Yep, she's here. Is it? And why does it happen only once a year? Oh, I guess because they get newbies only once a year, right? And this is like the first successful mission of the newbies. Maybe. What about him? Oh, I guess because you made the decision to actually be fighting on the front lines instead of inheriting the company? That's probably what happened, isn't it? Sup? Oh, promotions? Or something? Yeah. You get promoted to a full-blown newbie. Yep. Deserved. Okay, that's now we know the title. I forgot that he's not like a full-blown officer yet. Cool. I thought the announcement's gonna be like Kikoru, you get promoted, Reno, you get promoted. We still have plenty of episode to go. So what else is gonna happen? Okay, back at the barracks. New color. Yep, no, same uniform, just a new color like pin thing. Yep, you're a full-blown officer. No, stay. Yeah, sure, but he's much closer than he was a year ago. Of course she does. That's insubordination, speaking to your superior. Exactly. Yep. Uh, yeah, she didn't call you number 8. Yeah, he knows his worth. He's a good guy, ultimately. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever that it was Soshiro who recommended him. He's supportive of Kafka. And he's behind you. No? Okay, what are you gonna see? Something you shouldn't have seen? Iharu? Reno? Soshiro. Yep. Yeah. He realized that he was too weak to fight number 8, so he's going to continue training. Yeah, fighting shadows. Okay. Trying to figure out where he made a mistake? Probably. Mm-hmm. Yep. Funny you say that. Okay, so have you... that image again, huh? I mean, of course, he's the vice captain. He has, responsibilities. That's the best strategy against number 8, it seems. Yeah. What's in the sky? Flying kaiju. Huh. Another human kaiju? Kaiju number fucking 10? Alright then. Sure. Why don't we? Why don't we? Okay, well, the appearance of number 10 tells me that either number 10 or number 9 will be defeated in the finale of this season by Kafka. Could be that the newcomer is defeated because he's all about like brute strength and brute force, while number 9 is more analytical in his approach. So number 9 remains a villain for a longer time. Or it could be that now we have a new antagonist, so we can essentially get rid of number 9, and he dies to either Kafka or maybe Soshiro. Or we have 2 antagonists at once. Although... no, I can't see that happening. Not in this show. I don't think it's one of the shows that would introduce like multiple antagonists at once. It's much more focused. It's really much too focused to be introducing multiple antagonists, I feel. But of course, remains to be seen. What remains to be seen now is the same episode again, of course, as always, so let's do that. A very quick fight, all things considered. I like fully expected this whole entire episode to be, or at least like a half the episode to be a fight with like Kafka's fight with Soshiro. Just like the previous episode was pretty much entirely fight with the Kaiju King. But no, it went much quicker. And yeah, Soshiro is a formidable enemy, for sure. He's not moving like a human, indeed. At least partially because of the like kaiju fibers in his suit. I would assume, of course, training does a lot, sure. But I don't think anybody is able to perform like superhuman feats without the support of kaiju technology, right? Like if you were to give Soshiro a couple of regular steel swords and no kaiju tech whatsoever, he would probably still be a competent fighter, but he would be nowhere near the level that he is at when using the kaiju tech, right? Mina would probably still be a good marksman if she was given a fucking Dragunov and no kaiju tech, but she wouldn't be as good as with all the kaiju tech that she has, right? Because a Dragunov would not respond to her kaiju compatibility thingamajig powers, right? So yeah, a lot of what does that is basically the kaiju powers. Again, I gotta notice that they are showing us this like cross sections of flesh instead of it being just, you know, a solid color red mass or even just a black wall or whatever. No, they show us bone, they show us like some arteries and stuff. I like it. I really can appreciate it. Dangerously close though. Dangerously close. Yeah, that's a cool animation here on the wound closing. Is the core... Nah, I thought the core might be CG, but I don't think it is. Quick regeneration, but at a cost. Yeah, it costs him a lot of stamina. In this moment, I thought that maybe Kafka is going to go for a war of attrition, essentially. He believes that he has more stamina, he can regenerate, that's what he has over Soshiro, and he's just going to try running away, prolonging the fight and prolonging, counting on Soshiro eventually getting too tired to pursue. Would have been a very dangerous strategy though, because Soshiro is not alone. Even if Kafka were to whittle down Soshiro to the point of exhaustion, Kafka himself would also be exhausted. Perhaps even to a point where, I don't know, Haruichi would be able to 1v1 him, or maybe a couple of recruits, or maybe like, you know, higher ranking soldiers. not vice captain, but like team captains, or right, or maybe even Mina herself. So not a good strategy, and so he did not opt for it. At least Fortitude 8, yeah, Dai Kaiju. So I guess that's the classification here, right? Like a Gojira would be a kaiju, something that's the size of a building, so a little smaller than a Gojira would be like a Honju or a Yoju or whichever, and those like tiny little ones that are the size of a car would be a Yoju, and if it's something bigger or stronger in general, because so far from what we've seen, strength corresponds with size, but not in this case. So something stronger than a Honju or stronger than a Kaiju would be a Dai Kaiju, maybe Dai Kaiju, etc., etc. Probably. So Honju, Yoju, I think we have a decent confirmation, or just ranks of Kaiju. What's this weird feeling? First of all, Kafka is not trying to fight you. It's not trying to deal any like damage to you. Second of all, and I actually kind of missed that fact, but he's right in that Kafka is fighting like a human. And the pose, yeah, this pose. Let me find this image. Maybe you know what I mean, maybe you don't, but yeah, that's where do I have it? Display capture. This one? No, not this one. This one. There we go. Yeah, that's the pose he's doing here. That's basically it. It's Liwa Nuva. Double attack, right? Double slash, but is it only one that went off, or no? 2 waves. But yeah, it was supposed to just distract you, and then came in for a hit. Oh, who got who? I like how much Kafka is learning to use his powers, right? Slowly but surely. Like at first he's fighting very much just purely like human, right? Just a stance and punch, or like a one punch uppercut, and that was usually enough to finish off the opponent. But then slowly he learned that, hey, I can scream loud enough to deflect projectiles. I can like grow spurs out of my legs to root myself in the ground for more like punching power. Now he started using the fact that he can transform his flesh at will and capture enemy weapon with his body. I like it. I really do. I wonder if it's going to be a plot point eventually where Kafka starts maybe questioning how much of him really is a human and how much is a kaiju. Kafka starts questioning his nature, right? Like there comes a point where he starts fighting with tentacles and laser breath and turning parts of his body into teeth, morphing his fists into blades and shit like that. And then he, after the fight is done, he reflects, hey, that wasn't a fight that a human would have. I was fighting purely and solely as a kaiju. Right? I was fighting kaiju, yeah, but not with human skills. I just... dissonance. I think I'm a human. I believe I'm a human. But humans can't turn their arms into blades, and that's exactly what I did. Right? Bit of an identity crisis. It would be nice to see that, I'd say. Of course, the conclusion would be that no, my like bodily ability is not what makes me human. My brain, my system of beliefs, etc., etc., that makes me human. So even if I fight with tentacles and teeth, I'm still a human because I believe I'm a human and I live my daily life as a human. That would probably be the conclusion. But would be really nice to see a little bit of like philosophizing about his nature. And a punch. Yeah, some genuine fear in his eyes. I think he realized fully that if he were to be hit by this punch, he'd just be vaporized on the spot. Yeah, thankfully Kafka was not aiming for that, and instead just a hasty retreat in a cloud of dust and smoke. And here comes the morning. Is that all of the kaiju that you killed yourself, Kikoru? I think it might be. Those are big ones. Yeah, pretty much every single one seems to be like cleaved in half. What became of the street sign, I wonder? I would love to see a street sign just embedded in one of the kaiju here, right? Like she got done and then just planted it like a fucking flag on Monte Cassino. A bit of a recap. Is it really okay? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that fight really didn't last long. It was like 5-ish minutes. I fully expected it to be much longer. One who hurt you. Yeah, she's falling. She's falling, all right. Not like in a infinite Stratos kind of way. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind, but in like a, you know, normal, healthy, human way, where it's not, oh, that's the protagonist, Kun, I love him, but rather, you know, she has maybe a little bit of a crush, maybe not even, maybe she just, you know, feels a little bashful about someone actually caring for her, right? I can't even call her a tsundere at this point yet. I like it. I really, really do like it. If it even goes anywhere romantically, and that's a big if, this is going to be like, this is the route to take, honestly. Really embarrassing spot. Kaiju No.8, die kaiju indeed. Fukuoka 5 years ago. I don't think we've heard anything about Fukuoka 5 years ago. Except maybe like mentioned in passing, but I don't think we know any details. No casualties from No.8. Yeah, that should give you something to think about, right? Doesn't seem to be the type to attack people indiscriminately. In fact, doesn't seem to be the type to attack people, period. Right? Why did it attack weapon instead of you? Nothing about the battle made sense. Yeah, more like fighting a human than a kaiju. Indeed, the like very human, like distinctly human fighting stance. Learned one. Something that doesn't come to you with, I know, instinct or whatever, where the animal would be just baring its teeth and maybe trying to look big and opening itself in the process, right? That's what an animal or a monster would do. This is learned. This is learned. Right hand, a little bit higher to, you know, deal punches. Left hand kept in guard to protect from hits, right? Distinctly human indeed. Kaiju that attacked Furuhashi and Ichikawa, that was also humanoid, that appeared on the exam site. And I found it had human form. So now they're already immediately going to be suspicious of any kaiju that turn human. I guess it's nice that at least I hope that yeah, I mean, they have different numerical designations like number 8 and number 9. I guess that they were conflating Kafka with the Kaiju King, and maybe, you know, humanoid kaiju is just a catch-all term, so they would maybe peg all of the number 9's attacks and crimes onto number 8 or stuff like that. But no, they know they're two individual separate entities. Very, very heavy Kiseiju vibes here. changing form into a different human. Yeah. I need to remain hidden until I get used to this body again. Okay, so he's like a body snatcher more than just being able to take any sort of form, right? Like he needs to eat a person in order to turn into that person, rather than being something like D from Sentai Daishikaku, who can just see a person and become that person. Yeah, thank you for saving me with fucking Iharu in the room. Thankfully, he's not the brightest tool in the shed. And he found a new idol, right? Oh, shit, he was so strong, Kaiju number 8. It's pretty fucking cool for a kaiju. I would like to... see some reflection over the nature of number 8 to happen. I would like to have the science team, maybe the captain, the vice captain, team captains, right? Like the cream of the crop of this organization to gather and check like what they actually know about number 8 and number 9, right? Number 9 appeared, seems to be sentient, seems to be very analytical, tries to look for our weak spots, seems to be weak to elemental damage, is most certainly an enemy of humanity, etc, etc, etc. Number 8, what do we know about number 8? Well, he appeared once and saved a girl and her mother. Then he appeared and saved... We believe that he appeared and killed the one who attacked Kikuru. Then he appeared and he saved Iharu and Reno. And then when he was fighting Soshiro, he didn't actually fight. He was running away. What gives? Maybe next time that we try to that we get contact with number 8, we should try talking, right? Like with swords in our arms and prepare to strike, but talk. Who are you? Why did you come to Earth? What are your goals? Right? Basic stuff like that. I would really like for them to figure that out, because I'm kind of afraid of the story going in the direction where Kafka saves multiple people and pretty much everybody on the team was saved by Kafka or by number 8 as far as they're concerned at least once, and he saved so many civilians, and even the fucking TV has like, you know, entire programs with kaiju specialists talking about, oh, could number 8 be actually a friend of humanity? What do you think, Professor Sir? Stuff like that. And yet we have like Soshiro and Mina who are like, kill kaiju, kill, right? I would really like for them to reflect, and I really would not like for the story to go in the direction of, you know, just indiscriminate kaiju enemy, so number 8 equals enemy as well. Then again, I guess it could also lead to a depending how well it's executed, of course, it could lead to a nice possible situation where maybe the team protects number 8 from Soshiro and Mina, right? Kafka, number 8, is like laying on the ground, and Soshiro is preparing to strike, and then we have Reno and Iharu and Haruichi and Kingus and Aoi and everybody just jumping in front. No, don't do that. He saved my life. Let's talk first. Let's like bind him in dimeridium chains and shit. But you know, let's you know, not resort to killing. That would be a nice possible, like, potential moment, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what the future brings, of course. Congratulations on leaving the hospital. We have a table of named characters and a table of randos. It's nice for them to segregate it this clearly. What's Konomi doing here, though? Is she like a part of the team, but on like scientific, like, handler side, right? Like, this is a team, and those are 2 tables of combatants, and then we have Konomi being their, like, dedicated handler at the HQ. Maybe. Celebration for our first successful mission. A6 grade Wagyu, and A6 doesn't even fucking exist. It goes up to, like, what, A5, I think? You can never serve less than the finest at a party organized by Haruichi-sama. Of course, he's a princeling. Actually, largest anti-kaiju arms manufacturer in the country, makes defense force suits. That's gonna be relevant somehow, isn't it? We spend a lot of time with him, and with Aoi, and with, like, all the other secondary characters. I wonder if maybe Kafka is going to need something specific, like maybe a weapon that can withstand a kaiju power, or, like, right? Something like that, maybe, and this would be his guy. I know. Interesting that Kikoru has, like, rolled up sleeves. I like this look. Like, nobody else seems to have customized their look whatsoever. Everybody's wearing the same plain white t-shirt, and Kikoru felt the need to essentially wear a sleeveless shirt, show off her non-existent muscles. Koala beer. Kanpai. Yeah, Iharu spreading the good word of number 8, being helpful and being so cool and dope and savior of humanity and all. Cool. Show's about to start. Right. Some arguments are starting. You do things by the book, you can't keep up when we work together, I have to slow myself down, you know. Right? Airing all the grievances that they might have, but, and again, we get into this just positivity of this show, right? Just the positivity of this story. They're not airing out those grievances as in, oh, you motherfucker, because of you I scored fewer kills. No, it's constructive, right? No, you did this wrong, and here, let me show you how you could have done it well, because that's... I also made this mistake when training, and actually, like, the solution is very simple. See, you have this button, and, right, in this way. I like it. I really do like it. And I guess we see another dude with rolled up sleeves. I like how it's, you know, no jealousy and sabotage, but how can I make myself better? Not you fucked up and I'm gonna laugh at you, but you fucked up and I'm gonna show you how to not fuck up the next time, right? Just uplifting each other, just an overall message of positivity. I fucking love it. And even the, like, airing of grievances, that's also useful for them, to clear the air while they can in the atmosphere of overall joy, instead of stewing in that, right? Because if you stew in that, then you might eventually break, and we wouldn't want that. It's better for 2 guys to do some, you know, arm wrestling every now and then, or even, like, do some, I don't know, punch each other in the face, rather than let that stew, and maybe one of them will just let the other die because he hates his guts so much by that point, right? Very, very useful. Very good meeting. Very productive. I thought I'd never see you again. I'm assuming this dude is like a dedicated chef of his family. Today's meal was incredible. Haven't talked to him since then. Yeah, calling it now, Haruichi was supposed to take over the family business, but he decided, no, Dad, I don't want to run a sweatshop. I want to fight on the front lines. Harumph. Basically, no, Daddy, I don't want to play baseball. I want to be a ballerina. Kind of a deal. Cool. I like how much how much time we also spend with the other characters, how much we learn about them. Like, sure, Kafka, Kikoru, and Reno are still very much the main characters here, but we get some quality time with Iharu. We learn about his aspirations, about his story. We experience his character growth, right? We learn about Haruichi's backstory a little bit. Everybody gets a little bit of time. It really adds to the feeling of this just being a nice, proper team, proper family even. Announcement. I thought there's gonna be more announcements, like Kikoru gets promoted and gets a custom weapon, Reno, you get promoted, Iharu, you get promoted, stuff like that. But I guess the most important announcement here is that Kafka becomes a good and proper officer, because he saved so many lives indirectly. And that's like the biggest thing here. He did not need to fight. He did not even need to use his superpowers. He saved so many lives with just his own skills. Take away his kaiju powers, and he's still a valuable member of the party. That's great. Promoted to full officer. Officially welcome to the Defense Force. It's a good night, indeed. Where did that come from? If I can stop us from losing a single person, I want to. That's a fucking death flag you're setting off there, mate. That's a death flag if I've ever seen one. Yeah, nice and proper color button. A long way, yeah, but he's closer than he used to be. That's what matters. Slowly but surely, step by step, as long as you don't stay in place, you keep progressing. Good. And of course, 50 for failing to address Superior properly. This is a nice fake out. This was a really nice fake out. I, as well, thought that maybe she called him number 8 directly, or maybe she had some suspicions and she randomly threw Kaiju number 8 and was watching for his reactions, stuff like that. But no, she just like, oh, the both of them, number 8 and number 9. Yeah, it was Hoshina who recommended you. Of course. And recreating the fight. Trying to figure out the fault. Next time you face him, it's not gonna be that easy. Yeah, I can slice him in half next time. If I'd gone all in right off the bat, I could have chopped his head off. Yeah, probably. If he did not, like, announce his arrival, if he did not try to prod him a little bit and then slowly increasing his power output and stuff, then yeah, Kafka would probably have been dead. Doubly true now that that Soshiro knows where the core is located. If he just stays up in the rafters on like the roof of a building and does his whole limiter off sequence up there and doesn't announce his attack, but rather just drops onto Kafka's back and stabs him right in the core, Kafka's done for. So next time they meet, it better not be in a combat situation. If I'd used skill 6 instead of skill 5. Pissing himself out of fear, but of course he pisses through the nipples. This image is never fucking disappearing, is it? Number 9 is probably close to as strong, so still, number 8 still stronger, although we don't know how long is that going to stay true, because number 9 has learned. Yeah, don't get so cocky. But You can get 1% out of your suit. You get 1% of my expectations. That's already higher than the 0.1 that you were at. So you're growing there, you're getting there. Cool. And then we get this thing. Flying kaiju. Okay, like that's fine, sure. That's probably going to be one hell of a bitch to fight. But yeah, alright. Oh, a new kaiju type? Something interesting? What's that? Oh, it's another humanoid. That looks like a mecha from, I know. It looks like a character from whatchamacallit? Metallic Rouge. Yeah. A layer of monster teeth in front of a layer of vaguely human teeth. Is it another human turned monster? Or is it another kaiju turned human? Or is it that famed third party that I thought might be a thing? I wonder. Oh, there we go. Tell you what though, I certainly did not expect us to get another antagonist this early on. I really did not. This show, all this time, it really strikes me as very, very focused, right? We have one thing to deal with, and we deal with that one thing. We finish dealing with that one thing, another thing appears to deal with. Besides those, overarching plots of Kafka hiding his true nature, or Kafka chasing after Mina, right? Those are like overarching plots. But as far as the main driving plots of the show go, we complete like one thing, and then it's another one. Introducing another villain, another antagonist. Oh, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with it. I don't know what's gonna happen either. It really could go only one of two ways. I think. I'm not sure. Could actually be one of three ways. Either we're introducing the new one to get rid of number 9 and still have some sort of an antagonist, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we are either introducing number 10 to kill number 10 and keep number 9 still in the background, right? Number 9 has to recuperate, has to learn how to live in his new form, etc, etc, etc. And while number 9 is kind of taken out of the picture, do we need a new antagonist to fight? I don't think so. I honestly would be perfectly fine with just having normal fights with normal kaiju. But I guess the introduction of another humanoid one, that could also work. It would also give us potentially a fight for the finale. I think that's what they're going for. That in the finale, we're going to fight number 10, and Kafka is going to win. Perhaps he will reveal his nature in the process to one more person, wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. But it really seems to me like this is what they're going for. Meanwhile, we keep number 9 as this, like, big, overarching villain, overarching antagonist, who's not only about, oh, Kafka Hibino, I see you and I must destroy you, but rather knows where to let go, where to turn back and recuperate. He's not strapped for time. He can wait. He can analyze. He can watch the TV, learn a little bit more about the anti-kaiju program. Maybe he's gonna notice that, oh, yeah, they use like this new thing in fight. Assuming he's still, maybe he's not gonna deal with like cleaning, or maybe he will, who knows. He's gonna be able to figure out that, oh, they're using a new type of weapon, right? He's this sort of a villain who stays in the background and resurfaces every now and then, usually uses proxies, and that's what makes him so threatening, that he can learn and develop. Meanwhile, the new one, number 10, maybe he's gonna be the type who just jumps in, straight up show of force, muscle brain and all, and gets defeated easily. I don't know. We'll see. I really have way too little information to be able to say anything about the topic. But that's the vibe I'm getting. And I believe the least likely outcome is that number 9 and number 10 exist at the same time and are a problem at the same time. Unless we also start introducing things like, oh, number 10 doesn't like number 9, and they also keep fighting, and we have like a three-way fight or stuff like that. But that really would take away from the focus, I feel, because that would introduce potential fights of 9 versus 10. And that would take away the camera from Kafka, and we've been pretty consistent at keeping the point of view at him, so I really don't see that happening. We'll see where it's gonna go. It's certainly going in some very interesting directions, that's for sure. I really hope that they have that moment, as I mentioned, where they actually try to think about what number 8 might be, how to proceed with number 8 and with number 9, and they get their information together that, hey, number 8 really doesn't seem threatening. Maybe we should try to talk. Maybe he can help us, right? Maybe. Would be very nice to see, for sure. All in all, I enjoyed this episode very much. Again, I love the positivity that this show brings among these, like, those people. That's amazing. I really miss that in storytelling in general, not just in anime, where any sort of gripes and stuff are actually like constructive, right? I'm weaker than Kumono-san, so I need to grow stronger, instead of I'm weaker than Kumono-san, so I will destroy Kumono-san's suit so that he dies and I become number 1, right? This sort of thing. Good shit. Again, liked it very much, but did you guys like it? Tell me all about it in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description if you want. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Kaiju number 8 but also Yuuki, Yuuna, the finale, coming very quickly. Sentai Daishikaku's mysterious disappearances, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuuki, Yuuna, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube through memberships, super thanks, super chats, and if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my one for Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Zerena, Yuuki, Ala, Ishtamu, Dr. Watt, Akamancer, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to piss out of your nipples. I already used that line.